So the learning objectives, by the end of this discussion, you will be able to do the following. So recognize potential that is not actually potential. Recognize when a counterfeit is spouting potential. Recognize that old belief systems and strategies will blind you to the truth about potential. So recognizing potential that is not actually potential. And in a sense that we may perceive something as potential, but it's not potential really for us. It may be potential for somebody else. The fact that you're pulling at someone just because you're bored and just because you're trying to get somewhere quickly, and I said that it will hinder you and set you back. That person may actually be better for someone else. They may be suitable for another person, and that person and they come together and work together, and move the needle forward. You holding on to that person is preventing a man holding on to a woman who he has deemed as potential or looks like what he wants to do image wise, maybe holding that woman back from the real man who will actually be a husband to her, and whom she will actually be a wife to. So that's why you want to be careful about how you pull at potential, because they can affect your life very negatively, and that's on your own. Recognize when a counterfeit is spouting potential. So the counterfeit looks like what you want to become, or some idea of how you want to be socially perceived, but the person is just uh, talking. The person who spouts potential is usually a talker. The person is not a doer. They look like and act like and sound like they are a doer. But if you test the fruit, if you look at the fruit of their life, you'll see that they haven't done anything. They're not putting their hands towards anything. They're not trying to accomplish anything. They jump from thing to thing. They never stick with one thing. They always complain. They blame other people because they can't accomplish anything, but they never set goals to actually accomplish anything. But they spout potential. Think about the person who is always a dreamer, but not a doer. They say, okay, I got this dream. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And they have all these aspirational ideas, but they won't take at least one idea and begin working on it. But they spout so much potential that it looks like they're really going to go somewhere. They're not going to go anywhere. They have no plans. What they're trying to do is attach to a host. Counterfeits attach to a host. And so then they attach to a host, hoping that that person is going to do something, and then they can get the benefit from it and almost get credit for it. That's why you always have to be careful who you marry, because some people are really just trying to attach to you just to get somewhere quicker. They don't want to put in the work ethic and personal investment to get themselves to where they want to go. For example, you see a lot of people go on the Kendra G show, podcast, or whatever, and they're talking about, especially women, they're talking about they want a man at this height, they want him to make $100,000 and maybe have one child or something like that, right? But then the first thing I ask when I listen to them, not all the time, but kind of sporadically, do you already have that? The very thing that you're asking someone to have, do you already have yourself? If you don't already have that yourself, why are you asking another person to have that too? That means that the way I see it is that you are a grown adult and you're still looking for a parent. Essentially, that's what you're doing. You're looking for a parent. You're looking for someone to take care of you the rest of your life, so you don't have to work. But you're still a grown adult. Both man and woman, are still grown adults. And so you still have to make sure that you can, as an adult, still take care of yourself, because anything can happen to that your husband or wife. Anything can happen. So recognize that old belief systems and strategies will blind you to the truth about potential. So whatever you've been doing in your past, you tend to pick up the exact same patterns and strategies, uh, and behaviors. See, if we are continually in toxic relationships, it is likely because we just move from person to person. It's the same spirit, but with a different face. Every time you turn around, there's always a situation. You keep choosing the same type of person. And people may say, okay, you have a type, but sometimes the type can be the type that's holding you back. That you sort of got with that person during a downtime in your life, maybe in high school, and a little after that, and you never let go of that kind of spirit, or that spirit never let go of you. It's like they're holding on to your heels, and every time you try to break free from it, it seems like you just cannot break free from it. And when that happens, it keeps you from accomplishing nothing other things, because it's all distraction. The problem is, you look at yourself and you see, well, I'm accomplishing all these other things. I'm doing very well, but there's something that's nagging at you that you know you're actually supposed to be doing. And pay attention every time it looks like you are trying to go after that, and you tell somebody, you run your mouth and you tell somebody about that, all of a sudden they have something negative to say. It never fails. And that tells you right there, and it's always critical. They tend to mock you. They tend to have hostility, scoffing, which all falls up under jealousy and hate. And so if you find that every time you say that you're going to do this or whatever, and there's always a brunt of criticism from that person, that's likely the thing that you're supposed to be doing, because people don't always target you for everything. But the very thing that it looks like you're really supposed to become, and they begin to express hostility towards it, that's the thing you're supposed to be doing. So then you have to now look at your situation and say, do I want to continue with this relationship? Because if I continue, I'm never going to get to where I'm going to get to. And that can be the partner that you chose, the counterfeit. That could be that person you chose, and it's hard to get out of that relationship. And that's the sellout aspect of it. It's hard to get out of the relationship because now you have made a decision to go on ahead and stick it out.